And we're going to jump in here. It is 3:30 on the Wall to Wall Country Show on a very interesting day so far. We've had already a quick chat with Richard Sturban of the Oak Ridge Boys, and now we have on board a lovely lady from New Jersey, and and Carrie's here helping me with the buttons. But anyway, so hailing from New Jersey, you have been getting out there performing. I know you're friends with some of the guys that came over, the American Road guys.
Yeah.
And they hooked us up.
Yes.
And got me in touch with you. And then you were supposed to be here a couple weeks ago.
Right. Prior to one of those crazy snowstorms.
Yeah, which one? I don't know. Yeah. One of the last 30.
Yeah.
But you finally made it. Everybody, please make welcome to the show, Miss Nikki Briar. So glad that you finally got here in one piece. Because I know also, we'll talk about this later, you're not going to be capable in just a little while either.
I'm 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
So basically, I think our last performance is like May 6th.
Yeah.
And then I've given myself the 2-month, break, in between. And then our first show back is 4th of July. So, so I give myself a little bit of time.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this is baby number 2. This is back to back. So we have a 1-year-old at home.
Oh, wow.
And now this is number 2.
Awesome.
Basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to breed roadies.
Oh, yeah,
to go with the band and get on the road with us. That's basically the goal. So
yeah.
We need all the help we can get.
We like that. Yeah, definitely. And then they're cheap too.
Exactly.
Because you really don't have to pay them until they actually understand money. So
they need their food. They need some toys. That's
a roof over their head.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Low
what normal pay is.
Yeah.
It's
right, exactly.
You guys think you're supposed to get money? No. It's not the way it works. Well, we're glad
thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're so glad that you actually made it in here. But let's I know we're trying to get some of your fans to hang out and listen. And real quick reminder. Yeah. They can go to the Penn Speak Radio live stream page, go all the way down to the bottom one, click on it, it'll open it up, take you to the live stream page, and then they can chat with us if they want and watch the whole performance here. And then it also will be archived, so you can watch it back later on our website if you need to or whatever. And, of course, all the interviews that we also do, we cut out the music, but we also do YouTube videos of the interviews. So you can tag, we'll be tagging you on all of that stuff when all that happens. But so for people who don't know who you are, because you're a Jersey girl, you're not a PA girl. Not everybody will be like, who is this Nikki girl anyway? Why don't you give us a little background, Nick, about how you got to where you're at? How did you end up wanting to perform and getting out there and doing some music and stuff like that? Give us the story. Give us the scoop.
Well, so Nikki Briar is from Jersey. I'm about like an hour from the city, an hour from the Jersey Shore. So it's like the best of both worlds. I've been doing country music professionally as a full-time career for about 7 years now.
No.
With the help, of course, of my husband who's with me. And everyone knows that Angelo doesn't like to talk or anything, and I guess that's like the military in him. I don't know. He's smiling.
He's sitting in the corner. Nobody can really see him, but he is sitting in the corner.
Everybody knows how that goes with him. So, we, it's funny. We live in New Jersey, but it's like we play everywhere else but New Jersey. We play New Jersey, obviously, because that's our home state. But when it comes to country music, we travel all over. And, Pennsylvania is almost like a second home to us because of a lot of our fan base is in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, and stuff. So, so we play everywhere. We tour as much as possible. We did about 235 shows last year.
I was going to say, you're knocking out some serious.
Yeah. And it's everything from, doing some local, places to, big shows. We were talking about Lori Morgan and I'll be with Rodney Atkins in a couple weeks, Jared Neiman. So, we love what we do. I have a great band that backs me up, and I kind of took the Bruce Springsteen approach with giving my band a name. A lot of country artists just go, with their name, especially female, So I wanted to give them their own name because they're talented. So it's Nikki Briar, the Sweet Briar Band. And today my bass guitarist's birthday, so I would say happy birthday to Dominic.
Yay!
And and he's another one with the guys. The guys don't like to be in the spotlight.
Yeah.
They're always like, yeah, let her go do her thing. So, but yeah, you know, we travel, we do everything. And I have my 5th radio single that just came out, and you know, we've been blessed to go back and forth to Nashville and you know, work out of there and just keep it fresh and you know, build up a fan base and stuff, which was really awesome. You know,
Yeah.
like we just say, we can't do this without fans and the support of everybody. And I've just been lucky also with the 2 pregnancies to be able to work and perform basically right up until like the month that I was due. So so that's why we're cramming a lot in.
Yeah. Trying to get it in there.
Yeah, cramming a lot in, and it's great, you know.
Well, I want to give you a little validation too. I mean, people here may or may not recognize your name, but I mean, you've won some pretty good contests, which gave you some recognition. And I mean, you've been opening for some serious big guns. Yeah. I mean, let's just name a few. You've got Tim McGraw. You mentioned Lori Morgan.
Yep.
You've got Low Cash.
Low Cash.
You know, you got Chris Jansen in there. You got Blackberry Smoke in there. You got Chase Bryant in there.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on and on. So this is not, you know, what you're doing right now isn't necessarily new. It's just that we're working on trying to get you a little bit more exposure. But with some of the stuff that you're also doing down in Nashville, I mean, that's the dream.
It is.
That's the dream.
You know, and everybody there is super supportive. In the beginning, you know, you get a couple of jabs because you're from Jersey. And, you know, I have an accent compared to everybody else. And, you know, but I think because I am from the East Coast, it's given me, like, the thick skin to just kind of keep going with it. You know, some people might be more affected by the criticism of where is country music in New Jersey, but, you know, people would be surprised how popular it is, and how much more popular it's gotten.
Richard Sturgeon's from Jersey.
Yeah, well, that's right.
And he's an Oak Ridge boy.
That's right. And it's such an honor to follow up after him. Like, that's amazing.
Like, both of you from Jersey.
Right?
So, I mean, people say to me, oh, you know, only countries in America. Well, I got a surprise for you. I have artists who call me from Sweden and, you know, over in London and in Canada. I mean, it's not just American music anymore.
Look at Keith Urban from Australia.
Keith Urban. And oh my God. Oh, what the heck's her name? She's from Canada. What's Shania Twain is from Canada. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Angelo spoke.
Yay! I don't know. I have to turn up your mic a little bit to get him on there, but you know, so they forget just because they're here and they're singing here.
Absolutely.
You know, they're from abroad and countries worldwide.
My thing about country music is that, and because I am an Army wife and stuff, and my story was because of getting involved with the military. I sing the national anthem professionally, so it kind of stemmed from doing a lot of his military events about 7-8 years ago. But it's the story. So, like, you know, every country song has a story, whatever the story is, and to me, that's just really what it is. If you have a story to tell, and you want to tell it through music, to me, that's what country music is. You know, it doesn't matter if you grew up on a farm or if you grew up by the beach, like. You've got a story to tell, and, you know, throw a couple fiddles and steel guitars and stuff. I mean, it's just...
Any song can be turned into country anymore.
And it's an amazing genre.
When you're talking about Steven Tyler, Cyndi Lauper.
Well, yeah.
Justin Bieber, I think, or whatever his name is. They all want a piece of the country pie. You know, everybody wants a piece of the country pie.
Absolutely.
You know, years ago, country was always like, you know.
Absolutely. You're right. You would never tell, like, oh, that's what I'm into.
Yeah.
I never, you know, I grew up in a musical household. My father was a touring drummer. My mom plays classical piano. So, like, it was just music. So when people said, like, what did you like? I would just say, oh, well, I like Garth Brooks. I like Whitney Houston. I like Leanne Rimes. Like, I would just go off of the artists, not putting them into categories.
Right.
It's just, to me, it was just music. And then it found itself, you know, a home in my own songs.
Right.
So
you're a singer-songwriter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about A Soldier's Princess. Now that was the beginning. That was the big break, right?
Yeah, that was the big one. That I first wrote and recorded with my friend Mike Cool out in Nashville, and it basically was a story of my husband's deployment, and we wanted, of course, a happy ending. You know, he comes home, so it was based on our story. You know, we met, we fell in love. I knew he was in the Army. I knew he was getting deployed. You know, and it made me a stronger and more patriotic person. So when he came home on leave, we had a gorgeous wedding, and then 2 weeks later, he had to go back to Iraq and, you know, fulfill the rest of his duties for, I think it was like 4 to 6 months after that. And I kind of engulfed myself with, at the time I was finishing college and then songwriting, and going back and forth with, I was teaching, then doing my master's, and he's still there. And I mean, songwriting just helped make the time go by. So A Soldier's Princess came out, and it made it onto like a local Nashville radio station that was supported by veterans. And once it started making it like on that, you know, like local play and stuff, I said, you know what, I think this is it. This is what I'm gonna do.
Now there's a video.
There's a music video, yeah.
Music video.
I wanted him to be in it, but he wasn't there.
Oh no!
I had his dog tags on, but yeah, at the time he wasn't home.
And that's gone places. That music video.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the military uses it.
That's what's really cool is that I still, and that was like 8 years ago, I still get messages from, you know, spouses and stuff or girlfriends saying, your song helped me get through a deployment. Your song helped me. Somebody used it at their wedding. And I was honored. And that there's no better feeling knowing that your music has an effect on people. That's what you hope for.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what you hope for.
Because if you're not doing it to reach out there, if you're not doing it to make that connection, if you're not doing it to touch somebody and help them for what, I mean, there's happy songs that people write just for shits and giggles, but you know, this one obviously was not written for that, and it took a life on. And when you're getting those kinds of response, A, it validates your talent, and B, you know, I think that's got to be one of the biggest compliments in the world when somebody says your song helped me.
Oh, it's amazing.
I mean, that's just got to be crazy.
It's amazing, and it's I guess, you know, it took on a life of itself, because now being in the industry more for many more years, you know, they tell you, producers say, you know, don't put your first song out as a ballad. That's too risky. You know, don't. This was me going into it without any idea of how the country music business went. I just simply wrote a song with a friend, and we decided to go to Nashville and cut it. So that was, I guess, a risk, but it was my story to tell, and people, you know, enjoyed it. And I still perform that song when we do a lot of military benefits, and it led to basically my theme. So every time I do an album or an EP, I add a military song. So there's one called Unknown Soldier, which is dedicated to the soldiers who have not been known and found. And then I wrote one called Man's Best Friend, which is dedicated to the war dogs. Because I'm a huge animal advocate, and learning about what happened in Vietnam, and you know, the past and the present and the future of what dogs do for our country.
You should reach out to Pact for Animals. PACT. Okay. It's an organization that fosters military people's pets if they don't have anybody, so that it doesn't end up...
Like during deployment?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's called PACT.
Okay.
PACT. We've had them in here. And for your song and something like that, that might help.
I would love to.
I think that would be a neat connection.
Absolutely.
Because that's what they do. And, you know, they'll find families to, you know, if you were going to be both deployed or whatever, and you had a dog and you didn't have anybody to take care of it, you reach out to these people, and these people are like, we'll find a home for it.
That's
and those people take care of your pet while you're deployed, and when you come home, they give it back to you.
That's amazing.
And
you need people like that.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. to see them reunited with their,
Yeah.
you know, with their loved ones, and it's a great feeling. We work with the War Dog Association. That's the song actually had gotten, you know, like sponsored by them once I wrote it, and they had taken a life to it. But I'm always looking for, you know, somebody
Other avenues.
Yeah.
Again, it's going to get, it's an avenue to get you out there, you know, for your own purpose and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, if there's something you could do to help them, and,
absolutely,
you know, that whole
I would love to. Yeah, I got to check that out.
PACT.
That's great.
So those were the doors that opened up. Those were the doors that got you started.
Yeah.
And then you've moved forward with a couple of singles since then.
Yeah.
I didn't know which way. I'd like you to play a couple of your songs.
Yeah.
Which one would you like to, you can do a couple, but which one would you like to do first? And tell us a little bit about why, did you write that song? What is it about? And then we'll go ahead and let you play it.
Well, this one, this was my second to last radio single called After the New Wears Off. I wrote with Nashville writer Casey Carpenter and Josh Johnson. And so basically, as I've been going through this journey, when you're doing it for 7-8 years, you have to keep things fresh and different and stuff. And I always liked being the country rock Gretchen Wilson style. I really admire her, and she's amazing. So this After the New Wears Off was my stepping stone into like the pop country scene. So and I loved it. At first I was reluctant because I was like, no, I'm rocking country. With my blue hair and my purple hair and all that stuff. But I said, you know what? Hey, we're gonna go in this direction. So this is called After the New Wears Off.
Okay, go for it.
You know I love that new love spin, driving around all day like a show and tell. Taking all the curves a little too slow. I'm saying bye 100 times every night on the phone. I don't think I gotta put some miles on this heart. But tell me right now, baby, before we start. After the new wears off, are you still there? After the new wears off, do you still care? We can park it anytime. I'm not yours and you're not mine. My still shining like a brand new car. After the new wears off. Ooh, after the new wears off. Hey, 'cause we don't need enough right around the block, yeah. Let's just turn it off now, baby. Sit and talk. We don't need anyone getting too close. 'Cause you can look, but you can't touch. That's just how it goes. 'Cause I know I gotta put some miles on this heart. But tell me right now, baby, before we start. After the new wears off, do you still care? After the new wears off, are you still there? We can park it anytime. I'm not yours and you're not mine. My still shining like a brand new car. After the new wears off. Ooh, yeah. After the new wears off, are you still there? After the new wears off, do you still care? We can park it anytime. I'm not yours and you're not mine. My still shining like a brand new car. After the new wears off. Ooh, after the new wears off. Hey, yeah, after the new wears off. Yeah, after the new wears off.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Nice. Very good.
This
Very
is the perfect seat for like the pregnancy belly too. Like I can't get. I'm serious. I might not look comfortable, but I am super comfortable.
Great. Awesome. Okay, so now where can people get their hands on that music? We need to take a quick break, but just in case, like where do people...
Just you could go to NikkiBriar.com, and it has all the links for iTunes, Amazon,
all the electronic
Google,
medias.
Everywhere, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. We're gonna can you hang in there for a little bit yet?
I'm here.
Awesome.
We're
We're gonna take a quick break, but that was just Nikki Briar and the new Wears Off. Now it's NikkiBriar.com.
That's it.
Real simple, and it's Nikki.
Yep.
Okay, so if people are trying to Google it or search it or whatever, but that's really cool, and that's how they can track you down with where you're going to be performing, all those crazy dates, and all that kind of stuff. We'll talk more about connectivity with social media and stuff like that when we come back, but we do have to take a quick break, and I'd like you to do another song.
I'd love to. Thank you.
While you're here, and you ventured out, you've tried to get here, and you ventured out in this crazy weather out here, so we're not going to let you go that fast. But we do need to pay some bills. We're going to be back with more Nikki Briar. And her music and connectivity and a little bit more about everything that she's got going on in just a minute. So don't go anywhere. More on Wall to Wall Country. Live in-studio performance from this girl. Check out our live stream right now so you don't miss out on anything. Yeah, and we're back to our live in-studio performance and appearance with Nikki Briar. You need to check this girl out at NikkiBriar.com. You can find out everything that's going on with her. She's doing over 200 performances a year, and just a busy girl. Mom, I'm going to be mom again, and just all kinds of stuff going on with this girl. And I mean, you're a singer-songwriter. You're doing some stuff down in Nashville. There was something you wanted to mention before I get off on a little tangent here.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because I'm wearing their shirt. I made sure I ordered it in a big enough size for my belly when I ordered it. But yeah, no, I was just I was nominated for 3 Nashville Universe awards, and I just wanted to thank all viewers and listeners because it's a fan voting award, and then they narrow it down and then they send it to like the judges and panels in Nashville. So we were talking about fan base and social media, and I'm always reluctant to I gotta ask something of everybody again. Like, hey, I need you guys to vote, for this or whatever. And but it's always nice when it pays off.
Sure.
So I just want to thank everybody for their support, and so we'll be getting the results from the Nashville Universe awards and stuff. So it's it's an honor. It's an honor as an indie artist to get that recognition because you do have to work 1,000 times harder.
Sure.
But it's something I'm passionate about, so I just kind of keep going.
You just mentioned something about an independent artist, and I got to tell you, I mean, you have the artists who are backed by the big labels and the big record companies and all that, and I'm sure that's really nice because they can fund you and all that kind of stuff. But I've talked to a couple artists recently, people who used to be backed by that kind of stuff and decided to step away from that and create their own labels and kind of do their own thing. And from what I've been told, there's a certain freedom to that that is very appealing to some artists. Yeah, it's a struggle financial wise. Yeah, it takes a little bit more to get you in front of people, but you don't have, not to beat them up or anything, but sometimes you don't have them telling you the kind of artist you should be or the type of music you should write or how you should perform this or how you should do that or whatever. Is that the case?
That's right.
Is that the absolute case there?
I think because of how I grew up and with the military background too, our trust is hard to gain. So even though we go to Nashville and we do all the work there, and we've been approached by many different labels and stuff, we've never signed anything, and we don't say yes to everything. There's things that you have to be cautious about, and I've shared that with up and coming artists and people just like in general. You have to be careful because it might look good, it might sound good, and they might give you money up front, but you don't know what you're signing over to. And if you can do it independently, that's great. For me, I think it's kind of like it's a journey of independence, but at the same time, of course, we would love to get signed.
Sure.
But we're just going to be very cautious about who we work with, and when the timing is right, we'll see, what happens.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something to be proud of when you get so far on your own, and it is nice to have that freedom and not have somebody tell you. We did a show with Gretchen Wilson at the Jersey Shore, and she was talking about how she dropped off her label. She created her own label.
Yep. She was one of the people I was thinking of.
Yeah, and she openly said, I wrote a song that seemed controversial because it was about, I think, grandma like smoking up on the porch, and they didn't like that. But this is Gretchen Wilson. Like that's what she does.
That's her style.
And they dropped her. Now, things might have gone in a different direction with her with her music and stuff, but she put on a killer show, and she's still, doing her thing and stuff. And so there's the pros and cons.
Yeah.
I think if you're starting off as an indie artist, it's easier. If you're going from being signed and then you kind of draw back, that might be a decline. It's a tough business overall.
Yeah.
However you look at it.
Yeah. I'm sure.
But if you can do it,
yeah.
And with all the social media and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean.
See, that's the advantage that they have now that they didn't 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Exactly.
If you were an independent artist, you definitely struggled. It was just tough getting in front. But now you can record a little video and you can put it out there on those social medias. Exactly. And all of a sudden, thousands of people are going to see it. The YouTubes and all that.
Oh, it's great. It is. It is really good. It's addicting. So it's like I'm on my phone at 3 in the morning. Like, what else do we have to do? And but it really, it's so crucial.
Yeah.
Because that's the marketing stuff that you would normally have to pay for.
Sure.
Or, they would be financing and stuff, and you can do it for free.
Yeah. I think the background, too, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, and I've had this conversation with other artists. I just had the same conversation with my artist, John King, last week, who's out there and doing his thing and stuff.
Yeah.
He has a business background.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? That's critical, too. And it's not one of those things, that's going to be my fallback zone. When my music career doesn't work out, I can do business. I don't think that's the case. I think the case is you got to be smart about business, too. Because just like you said, you got to read the fine print.
Yes.
You got to know what you're getting signed up to. And you can't just be pushed. And I think on one hand, The Voice, the American Idol, and all of those are great.
Yeah.
They search and scour and they come up with some talent or whatever.
Right.
But the kicker is they have no say in anything that happens to them for about 2 years of their life.
Exactly. Right.
And, what happens to them after that or whatever, the decisions they make. But I think if you come from someone who just thinks that they can sing good at karaoke, but they happen to be really good, and then they get on those shows, they have no idea what they're getting into.
Right. Absolutely. And it's funny because I've tried out for all of them. All the shows, whether I think we did one in Philly and then the ones in New York City where they've come. And every time I got to that one point where they handed you over this contract, and I remember reading it, like everyone else is signing it. They're like, yeah, we're ready to go. And I'm reading it, and it says on there, if you make it to the next, because it was right before the next round, if you make it to the next round, everything that you do from this point on is on their terms.
Yeah.
And they have, freedom and rights and exposure. And, and here I'm thinking, oh God, I just put out a single. Like, are they going to want that? And I've got merchandise. Are they going to want that? You start thinking about the things that you've worked hard on and that you've invested in.
Yeah.
And now, are they going to take a piece of that? So that's the reluctancy that is out there too, as great as the shows are. But when you're already a working musician, you have to think about that, too. So it's a lot to think about.
Especially once you're established. If you have absolutely nothing and you have nothing going on and you can give up your, everything that's going on in your life for 2 years, sure, sign the dotted line and just be a puppet for a while. But
exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's got to be like you said. I know from doing this for years and years, artists are like, man, you're going to get told no like a billion times. Yeah. And I always say it's one of those things too. If you're going to give a piece of advice, to any new artist that's out there and is on the brink of, do I want to do this? What's one of the best pieces of advice that you think you could offer up from your experiences?
I went to college for education, so and I taught kids, guitar and vocals, and then I taught special ed, and I would always incorporate music into the classroom because kids definitely thrive when it comes to music. And I always say, even the cute little ones in my second grade who say, oh, I want to grow up, I want to be a rock star, I want to be, and the parents are looking at me like, oh. I said, look, I always say, you got to go to school. That education is first. Music or art or photography, anything that has to do with the arts is beneficial, and it's beautiful, and it's expression, but your education is number one. I would never say, hey, I dropped out of college or high school to go on the road and to do this. And, I was raised in a strict Italian family. You didn't do that, even though my father chose not to go to college and he went on with a label and stuff like that. But that was different times. That was in the 50s.
It was completely different times.
Totally different times. Yeah. Exactly. So, now with, the economy, the ups and downs and stuff, education is number one, and keep doing, because music will always be there. That's the thing, and even though I left education to pursue music, but for me, it's always there. You know what I mean? I got my degree, and, not that college is for everybody, but I'm just saying education is crucial, and I really think that when you incorporate music into your studies and your education, it just broadens, your intelligence and stuff. So that's definitely, for the young ones.
We're gonna kind of come around full circle a little bit, and your experiences of what you're saying has helped you with writing your music.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to take a quick break and do the ID. When we come back, tell us about another song that's means something to you. But we'll be back in just a second. We got to hit the top of the hour, D. We've got more to come with Nikki Briar, doing all kinds of stuff here. Check out her website at nikkibriar.com. That's NIKKIBRIAR.com. She's got some videos out there. She's on the YouTube, all the social medias, and you can get her music on all the electronic platforms. So check it out. More with her in just a second. And we're going to continue with the interview with Nikki Briar here in the studios, giving some insight, giving some good advice to new and upcoming artists to keep in mind that you actually, the music's great and it's what you want to do and all that kind of stuff, but you still have to kind of have some smarts about you.
Of course.
And just not, sign your life away. Have it, and if you don't know it, take somebody with you.
Totally.
Have a little bit of...
Have somebody back you up and advocate for you.
Right,
definitely.
right. So all of these experiences have provided input to your music.
Yeah.
What's another one of those tunes that you wanted to feature today? And give us some background on it.
This one is the newest one, I Know Where I'm Going Now. It's ironic because this song was actually pitched to me when we were in Nashville during my last pregnancy.
Okay.
And I already had the songs lined up that I was doing in the studio, and then last minute the producer's like, look, I wrote this really great song, and if we could find time in between recording and performing, I'd love for you to to cut it. And even though I didn't write it, it was the timing. I Know Where I'm Going Now. So it's got a pop folk sound to it, which is still different than what I've been doing. And the theme of it is about, like you know where you're going now. You never thought about it before, whether it's about a relationship, maybe religion, or
new
just
job.
Yeah, anything that you want to incorporate into that theme, and just thinking about where your life's going to go.
All right. Well, I'm going to turn it back over to you again.
All right.
So this is her new single, I Know Where I'm Going Now.
That's it.
You can find it on her website.
Yep.
Again, across the social medias. Is there a video for this one?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
All right. Well, I'm going to shut up and let you do your thing.
Okay. Thank you. I went to church like I was told, 'cause Mama said we all get old and we gotta know where we're going. Pretending like I cared, so I said my prayers. Every Sunday, the same old pew, same old preacher with the same old view. But you walked in, that's when I knew it. Call it a crazy rush, but I believe it's love. A hallelujah, yes, I found. Raise up my hand to that sweet sound. You turned my world upside down. I know where I'm going now. What I found still holding strong just gets better as the time goes on and on past forever. Now every Sunday it's me and you, hand in hand in the same old pew. 'Cause everything just makes sense. Call it a crazy rush, but I believe it's love. A hallelujah, yes, I found. Raise up my hand to that sweet sound. You turn my world upside down. I know where I'm going now. I know where I'm going now. Call it a crazy rush. I believe it's love. A hallelujah, yes, I'm found. Raise up my hand to that sweet sound. You turn my world upside down. You turn my world upside down. A hallelujah, yes, I'm found. Raise up my hand to that sweet sound. You turn my world upside down. I know where I'm going now. I know where I'm going now. 'Cause I know where I'm going now. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I know where I'm going now.
Hey.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very
Thank
nice.
you very, very much. I love that song.
Now, that's your latest single that you have out there.
That's the latest one, yeah.
And,
yes, we just released that beginning of February. And then we have another one that'll be coming out in I say the spring. I mean, technically it's spring, but we'll use our imagination. Right. So probably around like May, June we'll have.
Are you gonna do like a full EP or a CD and something where everybody can get like one place to get all of these, like on a hard copy CD or anything like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Dancing in the Headlights is my full album. There's about 9-10 songs on that one. And what we've done is, with taking consideration from producers and just looking at stats of how things sell in the market today, it's singles and EPs seem to be like the biggest quick downloads and cards and stuff. So after this next the next one, after this one, after I Know Where I'm Going Now, the next song that I have coming out is going to be, now we'll compile it onto like a regular EP of like 4 or 5 songs. But when we did like the album of like 9-10 songs are on that one, it's funny that like the sale, which, when we're doing a concert, people like to buy the CDs and stuff.
Right.
But when it comes to the downloads and the streams, it was all individualized, each song and stuff. So we kind of thought, that seems to be the direction that people go. They pick and choose which songs they like, or when you're doing live concerts.
Yeah, then they take the whole.
The whole CD and stuff too. Yeah. So we have a little bit of everything. But if you go on iTunes, there's about like 30 songs that are all on my iTunes page, so you can kind of preview and see which ones you like. Yeah.
Awesome. You've got quite the website here. I can see that you have the news of what you have going on. You have merchandise and things like that.
Yeah.
This what is it? April 9th with Rodney Atkins.
April 19th.
19th.
Yeah, the 19th. We'll be with Rodney. And that'll be at the Starland Ballroom. Yeah, right.
My buddy Rodney. Yeah, Rod and I, we're gonna get together and we're gonna hang out.
And he just had a baby, so that's kind of cool. My last show with him was during my last pregnancy, and we were in New York, and the show got, like, I think because of his tour or something, it got like bounced back. So like the day that we originally had it, everything was good, and then they bounced it back, and it was literally like on my due date, like February. Well, he came on Valentine's Day, but it was like the technical due date, and I was like, oh, that's really pushing it. I don't know if I could do that. So it'll be nice to do the show with him, and now we have a lot in common. Yeah. Both being new parents and stuff. So yeah, I'll be with him. I'll be with Jared Neiman on the 27th.
Well, somebody's working their butt off for you to get you some of these gigs. Man.
This is the thing, like, and talking about like doing independent stuff. We've been really blessed because I say, East Coast Jersey girl and Italian. I have to throw the Italian in there. Like, I'm very persistent, and a lot of my fans know that, and I've had a lot of people, say that you have to be in this business. You have to be aggressive. You have to be persistent. And I'd have to say 90% of these shows we've gotten by just either the venue saying, hey, we need an opener, and, you have the fan base, we like your music, things like that. It's a nice feeling to know, like, when Low Cash comes into the area, they're
going to reach out to you.
We've been with them 5 times.
Oh, okay.
So when they come to New York, New Jersey, it's kind of nice to know that, like, we're going to link up with them. And it's just based on the hustle. And so that's how it pays off, and it makes you feel good and just keep going. Yeah. Because after a while, when you plateau, you think of, well, where am I going to go now? So it's nice to know that, we continue to do what we're doing, and as the fan base grows, or we can, travel outside of our area and stuff, to be asked to do these shows with people that I mean, doing a show with Tim McGraw was like I just couldn't. I was like a babbling idiot that day. It's like I wish I remember it more because I was so nervous, opening up for my idol. Yeah. So it just, and Lori Morgan too. I mean, she's so down to earth and nice, but I just saw her at the Grand Ole Opry, and then 2 weeks later I was performing with her. I'm just like, I want to press pause. Like, I really want to enjoy this
each moment. Yeah.
Because it goes too quick.
Yeah.
But it's an honor. It's definitely an honor to do that. And then to say that I'm from New Jersey, and New Jersey can do it just as good. Yeah.
Transplant to Nashville at some point? Is a thought? Not even a thought?
It's been a lot of suggestions to do. I've had quite a few friends that have done it, and then in 3 years come back. Okay. So I don't want to uproot my family and do that. And I'll be honest with you, I love the beach. So that's tough to leave the beach. So for now, we could just go there whenever we want, and whenever we're needed. It's only a 14-hour drive. So for now, we just make ourselves accessible to go into Nashville like every other month or so. And we brought our son there the last time we were there, and he loved it. I'm assuming he loved it. So, for now, I would just, I would stay where we are, and we like to travel. So we'll just keep it as an option. And with him being in the military stuff too, he has his military roots in Jersey and stuff. But of course, if you ever, you need to do what you have to do for the business. So
yeah. I mean, obviously you got a lot going on. You have some things in that. Is there a wink, wink, nudge, nudge you could pass on? What's up what's coming up for Nikki Briar? I mean, what is there that your fans can at least kind of know that that's what they should be kind of looking for? I mean, you're doing a lot of shows. You're going to have a new baby, so you're going to be out of commission for a little bit, back into the picture in July.
Right.
But what is something that they can go, this is what we need to be looking for?
Well, so I'll have the next single out that will turn into the EP.
Okay.
It's kind of a cool song. It's called "Thank God for Whiskey."
Okay.
And it's kind of channeling a little bit of a cross between a Kenny Chesney and a Maren Morris type of style.
Okay.
So that'll be coming out in the, like I said, spring, whatever we say, spring, May, June type of, yeah, I know exactly, yeah. It's amazing. We got this beautiful view and everything, and all you see is the trees just going back and forth.
Yeah. And you step outside and you feel like you're in a wind tunnel. We call it the Penn's Peak bubble up here.
Right, exactly, yeah. But we have a lot of great shows. We're going to be in Ohio. We're going to be in Pittsburgh. We're going to be back in Nashville. So basically from July on, we're back on the road.
This is you and the Sweetbriar Band.
This is with my band. I can't do it without them. They're amazing. We do some acoustic things too, which is fun. But I love traveling with the guys, and it's literally like I'm one of the guys. Like now I'm having 2 sons, and I'm with the guys, and I love it. I absolutely love it. We spend a lot of time together. So yeah, we're making our way to other states, and just kind of doing it all over again. We've played Florida and Connecticut and stuff like that. West Virginia, we do a lot. So it'll be nice to just keep it going and keep it with some new fresh songs and stuff, and some other concerts that'll be coming up too. So
all right.
Yeah.
Do you got maybe one more song after the break?
I would love to, yeah.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break. We got to pay some bills so they keep the lights on for us. But if you can hang just for a little bit yet, I'd like to get one more tune. I mean, I can play them off of here, but
we're having fun.
You're here.
We're here.
So, I mean, what the heck?
I don't want to go outside yet.
I know. She's like, don't make me go out there.
I almost got killed by my car door with that wind. So
yeah. Well, yeah.
We're safe here.
Yeah, it's pretty safe inside so far. They, nothing really horrible has happened yet as far as that. I mean, it was this windy, I guess, a couple weeks ago, and one of my, not Carrie, who you've met, but Carol, who's not here today. I mean, she said the same thing. She went to open a door, it got out of control. Next thing you know, she said she got smacked by her door and fell down and, almost blown across the parking lot. And it's good Lord.
My God.
It's like, sorry.
That would be my luck.
Yeah, don't do that.
No.
That's not. You drive the truck to the door.
Yeah.
As close as you can get it.
Yeah, that would be smart, yeah.
But we're going to have to pay some bills. We'll be back in just a second. More with Nikki Briar, New Jersey girl turning into a country icon.
Ooh, I like
crowd goes wild. But I mean, you're going to give some country artists a run for their money, I think. So good stuff. We got another tune of hers coming up in just a minute right here on the Wall to Wall Country Show with me, Case, with Nikki Briar right here on PPR. Yeah, we had those guys. We're just chatting a little bit about when American Road was here. We did a pre-record with those guys when I was in Florida and played that stuff back. And that weather, that weather was crazy. I mean, they were like trying to claw their way to the door and not get pushed 30 feet. And I'm like, come on, boys. And the guy was like, I have a Rubicon. I can get there, but I can't get to the door. Sucks.
And all the equipment involved.
They had a lot of stuff. Yeah, they had more going on. It's like four or five guys.
Right.
But they were a lot of fun.
Oh, they're great.
They were a lot of fun. Nice now, how do you know them?
We've done many shows together. Yeah. Recently, we were at the Stanhope House in Newton, New Jersey together. So,
well, if you play a little bit closer around here, I want tickets. Wink, wink, nudge.
Oh yeah, we're working on that. We're working on it.
Another place you should check, by the way, is the Mock Chunk Opera House. Just FYI.
Okay.
I'll give you that information later.
Yeah,
but
please.
they bring in all kinds of different people. It's a smaller, little, intimate venue.
I like that though.
But it's a great acoustics in there. It's
Really?
an old theater. It's like back for 17, 1800.
Oh, I like that.
Beautiful old theater.
I like that.
It's a little haunted. So
Is
just
it really?
Just a little bit.
Oh, that's cool. Get out of here. Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah. There's some interesting stories about the Opera House. But anyway, that's a whole nother show. That's a different show. But anyway, so you've got some exciting things going on. You're going to be coming out with an EP.
Yeah.
Doing some touring.
Yeah.
I can't believe you do 230 shows. I mean, that's crazy. That's a lot.
It really doesn't even feel like that many. But after our first couple years of performing, and then when we were, going more and more traveling and stuff, it's nice. Like we have Reverb Nation and our website linked up, so it never deletes a show. So every time you put a show in, it gets archived. So we actually had went back like at the end of one of the years, and we counted. And one year it was like 190, and I said, "Oh, you know what? Just because of how I am,
you needed to tip over 200.
Well, let's see. Let's try next year more." And then it was like 2 something, and then my husband finally was like, "What are we gonna? How many more could we do? How many times being on the road and stuff like that?" And but it's my little competitiveness in myself. I kind of.
Well, you know what? You gotta have that spunk, though.
Yeah,
you gotta have it.
You do.
You gotta have it because, like we talked about before, people, they'll walk all over you. They'll make you sign shit you don't want to sign.
Yeah.
You
always have to keep it fresh and new too.
Yeah.
So I always, we've done I have a song called Big Red Truck, and that's about my truck that I'm obsessed over. First truck that I ever bought, a high country Silverado, and I was very proud of it. So I wrote a song about it.
I had a Dodge. I had a big-ass Dodge.
You know what? The Dodge is cool. My mom has a Dodge, and it's really loud and mean, and I like that. I like all kinds of trucks.
And it was red, by the way.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, well, so there you go.
We're sisters now.
There you go.
Yeah,
so it's red.
It was big red. It was a big extended cab, 8-foot, big high boy cap on the back.
Ooh,
yeah, it was
that's nice.
Big-ass truck.
That's nice. And, so I wrote a song about it, and, it was a little bit of that, cliche, country song about a truck. But it wasn't, because we sang, I think we debuted it with when we performed with Chris Jansen, and I was doing, Big Red Truck, and he's kind of like that outlaw country, so it was cool. And we had the crowd singing, the chorus is literally Big Red Truck. But it's about a girl driving her truck, and being badass about it. That to me wasn't cliche, because all the songs are about guys in their trucks, or
the
guys
girl sitting next to the guy in the truck.
Exactly.
Not actually the girl's truck.
Exactly. So I was like, no, this is liberating. This is about a girl who's only 5'3" that got a big truck, and this was my freedom to our music, because that truck has gotten us everywhere, from Nashville to New Hampshire, you know what I mean? So for me, that was the liberating part of getting the truck.
Yeah.
It gets us everywhere. And I love it.
Well, yeah, you know what though? The versatility in artists is always, always, always so important. I think sometimes artists get stuck where every one of their songs starts sounding the same.
Yes.
And it's, that's another so-and-so. Oh, yeah, there's another one. Oh, that must be size so-and-so, because it sure does sound like them.
Exactly.
You got to keep your fans on their toes. So when you're throwing songs, you have, important songs, Princess Soldier.
Yeah, Soldier's Princess.
Soldiers, I knew it was something. Yep. Soldier's Princess, that's a meaningful song. It's something that's out there. It's got a purpose. It's a meaning. You did it for a reason. And the connectivity is important to that.
Right.
But then you have to have other songs that connect. And then sometimes you just got to have a flippin' fun song.
Exactly.
Because even if it's a fun party song, people will still connect to it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And you got to show that versatility, and you got to knock them off their feet every once in a while and go, really? That's Nikki Briar? Really?
Right.
Wow, that's really different for her. And I know there are some artists who are like, oh, no, can't do that. Yeah. No, they got to know it's, no. And I'm like, okay, it's two separate thoughts.
Absolutely.
And I guess it's just really on the artist on how they do it. And I think versatility is the way to go.
You know what? It'll actually, if you're doing this as a livelihood, you'll get more work that way.
Yeah.
I was, like I said, I was locked in on the Gretchen Wilson style, and I idolize her, and I think she's great. But, you just can't be stuck to that. You can't be married to just one type. And that's what's nice about country music is there's so many other subgenres between modern and pop and folk and stuff. So you can dabble in a little bit of everything and stay true to yourself.
True.
I mean, we've done songs at shows that we didn't put out on the EP yet, and just to get the fans, like, you know, their taste of it and their feedback, then we decided, oh yeah, we're definitely going to put that one, you know, we're going to record that one next. That, it's just getting that feedback is helpful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's also, it keeps you creative.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, the other thing and I want to mention this too, I think what happens to some young artists too is I can sing. I have a voice and I can sing.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to get me everywhere.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that you also should write songs.
Yeah, yeah.
You should learn an instrument.
Yeah.
You should, there's got to be other things to you. You got to have more facets. There's a million people out there who have great voices.
Oh, totally.
But if you can go, hey, but I'm also a performer, I'm a songwriter,
Yeah.
I can play guitar, I can play piano, I can play fiddle, whatever.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? The facets of that is to get, you know, it's just like, do I want one apple or do I want 20 apples?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You got to have a little bit more than just a good voice these days. I mean, watch any of those shows.
Totally.
They're going through thousands of people that they're putting through the first time because they all can sing well.
Exactly.
You know, but then you got to have the look and you got to have the performance and you got to have this.
Totally.
So,
Totally.
you know,
Yeah,
you're going
I
to...
totally agree. There's, when I was watching some things on American Idol, I was noticing that there was somebody, I don't know if they were from New Jersey or New York, and I was like in awe of their guitar skills. The vocals were okay, but like killer guitar skills.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and now when I was auditioning, you weren't allowed, everything had to be a cappella. So now they can bring along,
Yeah.
you know, and accompany themselves either on piano or guitar, which is nice. But like, I was just like, you know, look at that. Like those guitar skills are great. And
Right.
it accompanies the voice, and maybe it's even a little bit better, but it's something to accompany,
Right.
you know,
and
what you're doing.
Somebody might take notice to that. He's like, okay, that guy's voices aren't so great, but that guy can play guitar. And that might be the foot in the door.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I have to say something about Gretchen Wilson. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this or not.
Yeah.
Originally, now this goes back a few years, but one of the things that I thought was amazing about Gretchen Wilson is she didn't have a high school degree
Yes.
for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then she was an advocate for education because
Yes.
she went back to get her degree.
Yeah.
And wanted to be the mom to her kid,
Right.
her child and
Right.
stuff. And people like that, just, that's the kind of, you know, artist that I really admire.
Yeah.
Because they weren't just born into it or they weren't just handed it or whatever.
Exactly.
She worked her butt
Oh, she really
off
did. She did.
to
Yeah.
be what she is. And again,
Yeah.
she's not one of those people who's really out there all that much or whatever.
Yeah.
But she's an advocate to education. She's you know, and
And she was really cool and down to earth, and invited us onto her tour bus and stuff like that. Like they, you know, they don't have to do that.
No.
You know, when you're an opening act, you know, they don't have to go out of their way or whatever. It's nice to get a thank you, but you know, they don't have to do that. And it's nice when they do connect with you and they put themselves back in your place.
shoes, sure.
Because, you know, it's like I idolize you and I'm doing this and stuff like that. But, you know, it's kind of nice to get that support and that
Sure.
response, you know, in return. Like
Yeah.
when we did the show at Chase Bryant, like he was super cool. And we did a show Parmalee, we did a show with them, and they actually offered, I felt like, should I say something, or like I was speechless. They actually offered to help my band and I get our equipment from the truck to on stage. And I'm like, these are the headlining act guys who have their own crew, and they saw us bringing us our stuff in, and they asked, did we want help? I mean, that was just down to earth, normal type of, you know,
People.
behavior
Right.
that sometimes you don't expect, you know,
Yeah.
in the business and stuff. And but I do notice in country music, you get a lot of really nice, humble
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
We've had the opportunity to interview a couple people like Phil Vassar and Lee Greenwood and
Oh,
those
yeah.
guys. And
Yeah.
I mean, one of the funniest stories we've ever had, and Kiri was, when it happened, you know, Phil Vassar has played here multiple times, and he
Yeah.
came, and he literally was laying on that couch, just laying out, had a microphone. He was like talking like this, and I'm
comfy,
like,
yeah.
like, dude, you do realize you have to have that, so because it was
Right, it was going back and forth. Yeah, going in and out.
and I'm like, dude. And he's like, yeah, you know, I like to go out for a run. And I'm like, this This is Phil Vassar. We like had a dude. Could you hold the microphone right here so we could hear you?
Like him of all people, right?
You would think, And then he didn't want to leave, and he didn't want to leave. He was on. I think he was on for like 2 hours.
Wow.
And finally, like, Carrie and I are like, it's after 5 o'clock. Wow. And then the last time he was here, he did a phone interview. He goes, I remember you guys. You're the guys that kicked us out of the studio. Kicked me out of the studio. I'm like, I'm really sorry about that. I'm like, dude, but, you were there for 2 you were sleeping on a couch. We wanted to go home. You said you'd only want 10 minutes.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, you're the girls who kicked me out of the studio. And I'm like, really? That's the only thing you remember about that interview? So every time he comes here, he's like, yeah, I remember you people.
That's cool.
It's like,
That's
at least we'll remember it.
Right. That's a good memory then, right?
So,
awesome.
and I find that, I'd have to say a good 75% of the time, if you do get that opportunity, and I tell you, I've spoken to Charlie Daniels twice.
Oh, yeah. Charlie Daniels.
Kiefer Sutherland, when he first decided to
Oh, my gosh, that's right. Yeah.
And he actually invited me down to see his show at the show down in Quakertown.
Oh, wow.
Backstage passes.
Oh,
got to
cool.
meet him, take pictures.
That's cool. Very
Talk
cool.
about down to earth.
Yeah.
Just amazing people.
That's the way it should be. Because we're all in it together.
Yeah.
We're all creating music, and we can't do it without radio.
Right.
We can't do it without you, and that's why I really appreciate your support.
Well, it's a two-way street. If it wasn't for music, I wouldn't have a job.
Well, that too. Right.
I'd be sitting here talking to myself. Talk radio, not for me.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way street, and it's nice.
It is.
And we talked about this before, remembering your fans and staying in touch.
Of course.
Social media.
Yeah.
You're the person?
You know what? I am. In the beginning we had like management do it, and some like marketing stuff, and I have everything in my hand, on my phone, and it's all me. Why am I going to pay somebody to do it when so Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, everything, right down to the website, my husband and I, we do everything. Mm-hmm. And that, again, that's the work that you put into it, because building websites and doing social media is time consuming and stuff. Yeah. So, but I would prefer to do it myself, because if you want something done,
right,
you're the best person to just get it done. So,
well, and I've had other artists that, and granted, some of the bigger ones, they're very busy. They get a billion of those things every second, and you have to have somebody to
hundreds of thousands of followers and stuff. Yeah.
And I kind of get that.
Yeah.
But as long as you kind of stay in touch and try to at least pseudo answer or whatever. But I think it's really important, because there's one person who's trying to talk to you.
Yes.
And they're that one person, and they want to talk to you.
Right.
Now, granted, you might have other people who want to talk to you, but the only person that cares about at that moment is that one person who's trying to ask you a question.
Right.
Or say, that song meant this to me.
Exactly.
Or whatever. And as soon as you can give that back to them, you have a fan for life.
If I didn't run my own social media, there would be a lot of messages that I would have missed. Mm-hmm. And, how when you have the YouTube subscribers and stuff like that, a lot of that was under one marketing thing, so things were getting filtered. And then when I took it over myself just to do it, and I'm reading back on the messages, and that's when I found out that someone had A Soldier's Princess as their wedding song, and then someone else downloaded my song Jersey Girl and made that their ringtone. And that might not sound like a big deal, but
that is a big deal.
That was pretty cool. I was like, look. So now that's why it's better to just be able to access everyone and connect, and
mm-hmm.
I just like to talk. So if someone talks to me, I'll talk to them back. That's cool.
I wouldn't have thought of that. I wouldn't have guessed that. So squeeze in one more song?
Yeah.
Okay, let me hit the bottom of the hour, D, make sure people know who we are. And then we'll come back and we'll let you do one more song. Tell us a little bit about the song you're going to do before we take this quick break.
The next one I think I'm going to do Hometown News. Just about growing up in a small town and having big dreams.
Okay. All right. We'll be back in one quick second. We got to hit the bottom of the idea. Nikki Briar. again, live in our studios right here at Penn's Peak. Interview being brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network. Big, big, big thanks to Nikki for coming out today. Another one of her tunes live coming up in just a second.
Billy was a quarterback with a dream. He's running around with a homecoming queen. Rebecca was the pride of this town in a Letterman jacket and a high school ring. They wanted to dance on Broadway. They wanted to be the next John Elway. They wanted to hit that highway and leave that little town. Yeah, I'm tired of just being hometown news. Never got me anywhere before. Don't wanna be singing small town blues. Never let my ship leave the shore. So I'm setting sail and I'm chasing dreams. Nothing left to lose. Well, I wanna be more than just that hometown blues. So Billy got a tryout with the Jets. He found out he wasn't quite the best. Rebecca auditioned for Broadway. The poor girl failed, never did dance as well. So they kicked the idea around. I'm going back to that little old town, dressing her up in a long white gown, starting a brand new dream. I'm gonna go make some hometown news to the family of my own. I'll tell you all about the Big Apple Blues, how glad I am to be back home, setting sail and I'm chasing dream. With nothing left to lose, you know I wanna be more than just that hometown blues. Yeah. The return came Junior, he grew up through the year. Well, hey, I love you, Mom and Dad. I gotta get out of here. I'm tired of just being a hometown news. Never got me anywhere before. Don't wanna be singing the small town blues. Never let my ship leave the shore. So I'm setting sail and I'm chasing dream. With nothing left to lose, I wanna be more than just that hometown news. Hey, yeah, I'm just the hometown news.
Nice.
Thank
Nice.
you.
Nice. I like it. You got that grit going on.
Little grit, right?
Little growl here and there. Awesome. Nikki, thank you so much for finally getting here. I'm glad we could get you in all this crazy weather, but we really appreciate you taking the time to drive in all the way in here.
Yeah.
And
no, it's an honor. Thank you for having me.
yeah, no problem. Is there anything else you want to throw out there to your fans or whatever? What we're going to do is, like I said, we'll tag you on the YouTube. The live stream will be there. It'll be archived as soon as I switch it over, so you can go back and watch it. You can get your friends to watch it. Tag it on all your social media and stuff.
It's going everywhere.
But
no, thank you so much.
Anything else did I miss something? You want to throw anything else out there real quick?
I just want to, give thanks for your support and everything. It's an honor to be here and meet you, and for all your wonderful listeners and my fans that are tuned in. We really appreciate it.
Awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, I appreciate it. And like I said, you get somewhere close, you got to let me know for sure.
Oh, totally.
Because I would want to.
Yeah,
definitely.
we're working on it. I know. That's what we talked about downstairs.
Yeah.
The big stage down there.
Push a little bit, but you've been an honor and a pleasure. I thank you so much for coming out. And just so you know, my doors to the radio station are always open. So in a couple of months or whatever, if you do have some big news or whatever, and you can manage to get back over here, you'd always be welcome back in the studios. If not, we can always do phone. But obviously, studios
This is more fun.
way more fun. But just, stay in touch, girl.
Absolutely.
I wish you good luck with everything you have going on. Good luck with the new babe.
Thank you.
Second
2 more months.
Second time around, you're golden.
Oh, exactly. We're a pro at this now.
Awesome.
2 more months. That's it. 2 more months.
Yeah, that's so cool. But hey, listen, we're gonna throw another tune out there. But real quick, thanks again for coming out. Before you leave, I do want to get a couple things from you before you head out the door, though. But take care. Stay in touch. Good luck with everything. And
thanks, everybody.
remember us when you're this big country rock star.
Yeah.
Here's a little something from Nick Nichols from 2016 for you. We're going to be back in just a little bit to close out the show. Don't go anywhere.